Today I am reviewing the Ciga Design Blue Planet, a watch that has been reviewed to death in a very short period of time, but I still want to get across to you guys my thoughts and opinions on this watch. So in this video you'll get some facts, figures, stats and specifications. You'll get the green thumbs up, the red thumbs down. I'm not going to talk to you about how it works. I covered that in my unboxing and first impressions video on I Like Watches too, but you are going to see some stunning macro shots of this really quite incredible piece of wrist art. I'm not so sure it's a watch. I'm sure that's what most other reviewers are saying because it's not the easiest to read. I wore this when I went to see the accountant recently with my business partner, and the first thing he said when he saw it, this is my business partner, was, what the is that? And I think that pretty much sums it up. Of course, I then thoroughly enjoyed telling him about the watch, and that is the sort of purpose of this watch. I think is a bit of a talking point, isn't it? Something for watch enthusiasts to own and enjoy and explain to all their friends. Right guys, I'm waffling now. Let's get on with it, shall we? Now, after I posted my unboxing and first impressions video on I Like Watches too, there were a few fairly common questions. Where can I buy it? How much is it? What options are there? There is a titanium and a stainless steel option that's going to be available from the 15th of March, I believe, which is why I've posted this video just before the 15th of March. You need to go to the website, the Ciga Design website. There is a link in the video description. It's not an affiliate link. It's just a standard link taking you to their website. You need to sign up to their newsletter, and then they will let you know whether or not you've been selected to buy one of these watches. That's, I believe, how it's working. And the prices vary from just over $1,000, I think, to around $1,200. And I've no idea how many are available. There has been conflicting information about that since I've received this watch. I think the first batch was a limited edition batch. I think this watch was part of that first batch. But I think the subsequent production runs will be, I wouldn't say unlimited, but there will be a decent number of watches available. Now, I'm not entirely sure what the movement is inside this watch. According to the specifications, it's an in-house movement, but I suspect it's just an adjusted or an amended existing movement. They have certainly been messing around with the cogs to get that minute ring to rotate 390 degrees every hour, and that is yeah, I mean, if you watched my unboxing video, I explain why the minute ring actually rotates 26 times in a day and not the standard 24 times that you would expect. The movement still has a ghost position though, which is a surprise. I would have expected, if they've gone to the trouble of reconfiguring the movement to basically you know, be suitable for this style of display, if you like, for them to have actually chosen a movement that doesn't have a date, because obviously there's no date display, but there is a date position on their crown. But anyway, that's what they've chosen. It beats at 28,800 beats per hour hacks, and it hand winds. Right, let's grab those calipers and give you some dimensions. The diameter is just under 46 millimeters. That will be the case length as well because it's round. Let's give you the thickness. Both pieces of crystal are domed, taking it to just over 15 millimeters thick. But it doesn't feel that thick actually when it's on your wrist. The hidden lugs have a width of 22 millimeters, and does the strap taper? It does a little bit, just over 1 millimeter of taper, so not a huge amount, but a little bit. The crystal protecting the face of the watch is sapphire crystal, nice, but the crystal covering the movement at the back is mineral crystal. That is not sapphire. And the full weight of the watch on its supplied strap is 82 grams. This watch is made predominantly of titanium. That's case, crown, some of the case back. Obviously you've got mineral crystal in there, sapphire crystal covering the dial, and the strap is made of fluorine. It's an interesting type of rubber. It's not sort of soft and sticky like silicone, and it's not hard like plasticky sort of rubber. It's a lovely, lovely material. Yeah, it's a really nice strap actually, and you've got titanium hardware as well on the strap, which is nice. And slightly disappointingly, only 30 meters of water resistance despite that screw down case back. The crown is a pull push crown. Right, let's get up close and personal with this dial, because other than the case shape being a little bit unusual, you know, it's a very, very round circular case, this watch is all about the dial, and in particular that globe. Look at it. Absolutely stunning, incredible. Of course, no Americas or Europe on it, but there you go. I can totally understand why. Ciga Design is a Chinese company, and so they're going to feature this part of the Earth on the globe, and it has been done beautifully. And I actually really like this sort of profile of that globe. It's quite round, isn't it? It does sit quite tall. When I wore it to go and see the accountant, I tried to look at the time a few times, and it was taking me so long to actually read the time that eventually I did sort of give up a little bit. So yeah, I pulled my phone out and just read the time on that. So yeah, it did spark a little bit of conversation and interest from the business partner and the accountant, which is really what this watch is all about. Definitely a piece of wrist art. Now, if you are seriously considering picking up one of these watches, the next part of this video is going to interest you, because I'm going to talk about the good, the bad, the green thumbs up, the red thumbs down, the strengths and the weaknesses. And of course, I'm going to start with the strengths. And the first one is, well, just look at it. It's so different. It's definitely going to spark a reaction from people that see it. It did when I wore it. You're not always going to get really positive comments about how it looks, but it definitely starts a conversation, and it just looks, well, interesting. The fit and finish, as you would expect from Ciga Design, they do produce quality watches. I've seen a number of their watches, and they are always beautifully finished. This is no exception, and I've got to say the finishing on that globe is absolutely incredible. Yeah, so excellent fit and finish. The strap, it's a really nice, comfortable strap, and because you've got a relatively small sort of spring bar to spring bar length, it actually wears very, very nicely, considering it's a particularly deep and large watch. But yeah, it doesn't feel like it when you're wearing it, and it is just a really, really nice strap, and beautifully finished, beautiful material. I really like this material. The buckle's nice. Yeah, the strap is definitely a bonus. It's an award-winning watch. That's always a good thing, isn't it? And it's had to have customized gearing made for it, which always makes for an interesting conversation. So a decent number of strengths, but what about the weaknesses? Well, legibility is a big one. If you are thinking of buying this watch to wear and use to tell the time, just don't bother. Buy it because, well, look at it, but don't look at it to tell the time. Look at it to just look at it. Something else that's a little bit disappointing is there's not a lot of information about this base caliber. Yeah, so I don't know the lift angle, and they've also used a movement that has a date, so there is a ghost position, and I am really surprised at that, given the lengths they must have gone to basically reconfigure this movement to work with this dial. Yeah, they've then just used a movement with a date, and so you've now got that ghost position. That really does surprise me. 30 meters of water resistance, that's a little bit disappointing. And I think the last one is just the price. I mean, you know, over $1,000 for this. There are going to be some people that have that sort of money that are interested in a watch that has won this particular award. It's, you know, it is going to be, I suspect, a bit of a collector's piece, depending on how many they make, of course. But yeah, over $1,000, that is going to put a lot of people off, unfortunately. And I think at those sorts of prices, it's a touch too rich. It's not a watch that I would spend that sort of money on. It is a really, really interesting piece, and yeah, there are going to be people out there that have that sort of money to spend on a watch like this, and they'll thoroughly enjoy it. But yeah, it's just too much money for me. It's interesting, lots to talk about, but yeah, that price is definitely going to put a number of people off. But I got to say, I did thoroughly enjoy wearing it when I wore it to see the accountant. We did chat about this watch quite a bit, and both my business partner and the accountant were really quite surprised and shocked at the build quality and the finishing on that dial, and the lengths that Ciga Design must have gone to create this watch. So yeah, it is an impressive piece, but let me know, guys, what you think of this watch in the comment section, and yeah, I'll enjoy reading those comments. Alright guys, I'm going to leave it there. As always, massive thank you from me to you. I do really appreciate it. Take care, guys. Look after yourselves. You'll see me again very, very soon.